Avenue in Exeter. Lindo Sabatini talking cheese with us before. Now it's time for beer. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And Phil is in with us, our traffic guy, because he's a beer lover as well.
Yes, I am.
Good morning.
Hey, true to the rumor, you took this job just for a chance to be in on this segment. I'll say yes, just so you don't have to shoot us down for that reason.
I was given a heads up about this segment.
Yes, yes. And we have... What's that?
We have Tap Dancing Bill.
Bill from mybeerbuzz.com is with us. Hi, Bill.
Hey, happy Friday and happy Cheese Day. Lindo, I'm thinking we missed the beer opportunity here. We didn't go for National Cheese Day.
Yeah, when she said National Cheese Day, my mind started thinking I wouldn't have had a beer. I couldn't come up with one that was cheese related.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be like a cheese pairing.
Yeah.
I love all cheese. Well, okay, I take that back. There's one weird Mexican cojito I found somewhere that was like really, really odd. But other than that, all cheeses are okay by me. And Nancy, I agree on the Cooper.
Yes, good stuff, right?
Me too. I still have to try it, I think. Or I haven't, I just don't
It's
remember.
Rectangle. It's not like a square shape. Did you ever have that rectangle one like that?
I don't trust rectangular
Oh,
foods.
you love it. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway.
So anyway, I do have a BeerBuzz, and I guess we spurred some additional questions with our last week's question about where did the name for Pabst Brewing Company come from, because today's question asks about Stella Artois. And we know Stella, owned by Anheuser-Busch, a lot of people call it the Belgian Bud. It's a nice, easy drinking Belgian-style beer. But the name is sort of a mystery for everyone. But Stella... the word Stella is Latin for star, which they still to this day use on the packaging. And Artois is actually the last name of the original brewmaster. His name was Sébastien Artois, and he goes back all the way back to like the 18th century. And it was originally a Christmas beer. It was a beer that they brewed to give as a gift to the town of Leuven in Belgium, where they were brewed. So it's Star, and the brewmaster's name is Stella Artois.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, people ask these things. I never even think to look them up until I actually go and look them up. We do have some beer news today, and the first bit of beer news is one of those as one door closes, another door opens kind of story. We talked about the Sierra Nevada Torpedo Room in Berkeley, California closing, and you know, how that was a sign of the times, and how if somebody as big as Sierra Nevada can't make it work, then, you know, who can? Well, Great Notion Brewing out of Portland, Oregon is going to open a new tap room in the former Sierra Nevada Torpedo Room location in Berkeley, California. So we'll follow along and see if they do better than Sierra Nevada actually did in that location. Anderson Valley. We've had Anderson Valley and featured them on the show many, many times. They come from Boone Hill, California. Remember, they have that funny bootling language where they have, you know, a Kimmy is a kid, and they have all these funny terms. But they're doing something that's really environmentally very, very interesting, is that they have phased out all glass bottles. So they are going, much like Oscar Blues, they're going 100% cans. And that includes their big beers and their barrel-aged beers and everything else. So we'll see how that works out as well. Firestone Walker is adding a beer called Hop Fighters IPA. That will hit 6.4% ABV, and it will be packaged in 12-ounce bottles. You know, we just talked about phasing out bottles, and Firestone Walker's adding bottles. And finally, Boulevard Brewing is adding a really interesting beer. They have a beer called Tank 7. It's a Saison. It's one of the better Saisons, one of my favorite beers going way, way back. They are coming out with a beer called Dank 7, and it will actually be a Belgian-style IPA that uses Bravo, Chinook, Citra, Columbus, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Topaz hops. And if you counted those, that's 7, Dank 7. It will hit, oddly enough, 7% ABV, and it will be packaged in 12-ounce cans. And that is our beer news for the day. As always, you can click on the Breaking Beer News tab on mybeerbuzz.com for all the latest
And I
news.
thought he was going to say it'll be in a 7-pack instead of 6, but that would be weird.
Just once.
Strap to the bottom of the...
That would be very weird. Buy 6, get 1 free. All right. What do we have here today, Lindo? It's a dark color. Did you try tasting it yet? Phil is like, he nails everything here now because he knows so much about beer. So,
Johnny hates me.
Don't be.
Linda was
Listen, I'm insulting myself too. I've only been doing this for like 11 years and still.
He's good. He knows what he's talking.
Yeah, Phil knows. So Phil, what do you get when you smell this and taste this? What are you thinking? And make sure you go right next to the microphone there.
There's definitely chocolate in there.
Oh, it's chocolate.
How much chocolate though, smart guy?
Just say 7. It's the number of the day.
Chocolate, maybe? I have the bottle in front of me.
Did you say double?
Yeah, it's a double chocolate.
Cheater.
I have the bottle in front of me.
All right, so what do we have here, Lindo?
Decided to come up with a nice chocolate beer, and it is from Blockhouse Brewing Company. This is their double chocolate Bock.
Yum.
Where are they from?
I like Pittsburgh.
Okay. A question. I don't know the answer, but I remember trying when Yingling put out their Hershey. Is it a very similar beer? Or not at all?
Look at Phil. Phil's like, duh. Phil, what do you say?
This is definitely, well,
Similar
no
in the
offense to
sense.
Yingling, but
My question is more like, as far as they both have that chocolate just jumping out of the beer.
Well, you're going porter to a Bock. Yeah. So I mean, a Bock is a traditional German style. It's going to be a little bit of a darker, bit of a darker beer versus a porter, which is much darker. Yingling's regular porter, I like. It's a good porter. Their Hershey chocolate has, to me, not. I mean, this is a little bit more of a real chocolate flavor, where you're going to actually be able to compare it to a bar, where the Hershey chocolate is Hershey. To me, is a little more like a Hershey syrup, and that's what they were going for, and that's what this is. It's two different beers. For me, it's hard to say which one's like quote unquote better, but I sell a lot of this one. I mean, this one sells really well for us. It's a favorite in our shop, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
Yeah, I'm like, because the chocolate smell just really jumps out. It's really good.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I really enjoy this. I'm not going to knock them, but better. I think
the beer itself is a little thinner in the mouth, if that makes sense. Where it's not going to be. I think a lot of people, a wider variety of people could grab this and try it. And I mean, it's a little dark, so don't be scared by the color of it being a darker beer. A lot of people get afraid that it's going to be too hard or heavy. It's nice, easy drinking with a lot of chocolate. Yeah.
I just want to say that you guys picked out the chocolate smell. I didn't pick that out as a chocolate smell. So again,
what did you think it was?
Did you taste it?
I taste it, but I'm saying the smell. So I just, for people that maybe haven't had it and think it might be like an overpowering, like you guys are talking about with Hershey's, it's not. It's very like nuanced.
When you open up a box of chocolates, as soon as you open up the top of the box and you smell it, that's what I get.
Yeah. This is
really good. This beer comes out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Latrobe, PA. It's made by Pittsburgh Brewing Company. They also make Iron City beers, if you're familiar with all of those. And they decided that, they needed sort of a craft beer kind of style. And they focus mostly on seasonals, which is what they kind of do the most. And a lot of people don't know, originally back in the day, they were the contract brewer for a lot of the distribution for Sam Adams Boston Lager. So they knew a lot about brewing craft beer before they actually started brewing them. And this one, it's a Bock style beer, 6.5% ABV, 15 IBU, and I think it's really, as Lindo said, it's the body of the beer and the mouthfeel of the beer make it really, really drinkable, and I think that drinkability imparts the chocolate really well.
Yeah, if you're one of these people like I am, where if it's super heavily flavored beer like chocolate or creamy or whatever, I always think it's going to be too desserty and it's going to ruin everything else. This would go great with a burger. It wouldn't matter. It's like, it's strong. You get the chocolate, but it's not overwhelming.
It's not heavy.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm still interested. What was it that you smelled when you smelled it?
I didn't. It wasn't that I had an idea of what it smelled like. I'm just saying that it wasn't until I tasted it. So I guess my thinking, again, you're someone who drinks a lot. You knew it right away.
You have a problem.
Phil is, I don't think he has a problem. But is this something you've tried before?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar with it.
And I had the bottle in front of me, to be fair. So I was going to say, I don't know what's wrong with your nose, but I clearly smelled double chocolate.
Right. Okay, well,
double chocolate.
I did. I couldn't put my finger on it, I guess. But when I tasted it, I think it's fabulous. I really like it.
Blockhouse Brewing.
And they use milk chocolate instead of dark chocolate. And I think a lot of the beers we're traditionally drinking that are chocolate beers use sort of a dark, deeper, coffee-like chocolate. And I got to say, when over my phone connection, Phil and Bill sound a lot alike.
That's so funny.
So I have started to respond to many of your questions to Phil. So
Oh, okay.
welcome to the
Going
show, Phil.
forward, it's Phil.
All right. Anyway, once again, let's. Obviously, you have it, Lindo. Tell us the beer again for people who want to try this thing out.
Blockhouse Brewing Double Chocolate Bock.
Yep.
There we go.
Find it up front next to the small stone carved statue of me, Jason Barkley, in front of the register.
Very
at
small.
Sabatini.
So small you can't see it. It's the Friday Beer Buzz powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop in Bar in Exeter. I'm sure you'll be busy with the playoffs and everything else going on.
Giddy up.
Watch the game and also go Eagles. Sabatini's the area's greatest selection of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and Crowlers, 37 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar. Wyoming Avenue in Exeter, the Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.